What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what macronutrients are. You've probably heard of the term macronutrients. It's thrown around quite a lot in the fitness industry and on social media. And today I'll just break down what exactly it is and how you can categorize food into macronutrients. Now, to explain this as simple as possible, I'm just going to use this diagram that you see up here. So there's three main macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. It says lipids up there, which is another word for fats. Now, why protein? What is protein? So what is the importance of protein? Protein is mainly important for muscle tissue repair. Not just muscle, but joints, ligaments, and all that good stuff. So tissue repair and production. And that is why protein is so, used very frequently, because everyone wants to build muscle, everyone wants to be strong, hence protein is emphasized quite a lot in any nutrition strategy, and rightfully so. There are some other benefits like hormone production, enzyme production, immune function, but the main role of protein is muscle function, growth, and support. Now, what other types of proteins? As you see up in here, it's things like beef, things like chicken, things like pork, lamb, fish, quinoa, soy, etc., etc. Usually meat sources tend to be proteins. Now, there's also what's called incomplete proteins, and this one's probably for the vegans, things like grains, legumes, and nuts, right? Complete proteins are ideal, because to get the benefits of eating one chicken breast per se compared to eating a grains, legumes, nuts diet, you're going to have to eat a lot of legumes, grains, and nuts if you want to get the same benefits as a chicken breast. Cool. Now, going into carbs. What is the role of carbs? Carbs mainly is to provide fuel supply for the body. So if you want to have good workout performance, if you want to have energy while you're running, going about just activities in general, the preferred fuel supply is carbs. So carbs are necessary and it makes you feel good. Now, what are the different types of carbs? It's things like what you see up here: whole grains, vegetables, and fruits. These things are categorized as complex carbs. So we want most of our diet to comprise of complex carbs. Now there's another type of carbs, which is simple carbs. So those are things like sugar, sweets, confectionery goods, and processed foods, which is not what we want in our diet because it's harmful. Occasionally and in moderation, it's okay, but we don't want most of our diet to comprise of simple carbs. Right. What is the difference between simple and complex carbs? Simply put, complex carbs allow for a slow release of energy, and simple carbs is a quick release of energy. And that's why when you have things like sweets, confectionery goods, fried foods, not necessarily fried foods, but sweets, that's why you have that crash, is because you get a quick burst of energy and then you have a fat dip. And that is why you crash. Cool. Now you can also see there's a crossover between carbs and proteins, and this is things like grains, legumes, and beans, which have a pretty even ratio of protein and carbs, and they're good sources of both. And then you have your fats, Good old fats. Why are fats important? It's pretty much to make sure your body is functioning well on a hormonal level and on a cellular level and on a nerve function level. So all the nitty gritty stuff of your body functioning well is pretty much what the fats is responsible for. What are the different types of fats? I like to categorize it as good and bad fats. So I know it's not necessarily good to give food moral value, but in this case, it's kind of a special case. Good fats are saturated fats and unsaturated fats. So that's things like animal fats, dairy, coconut products, olive oil, nuts, and oily fish, stuff like that. And then you have the not so ideal fats, which is just trans fats. And these come in the form of junk food, processed food, fried foods. Right? So we want to avoid having these foods, and of course, in moderation, it is okay. Cool. And also you can see up here that protein and fats also do have a crossover, such as dairy, oily fish like salmon, such and such. Cool. Now I'm going to also explain to you how these tie into calories. So carbs and proteins, a gram of carbs or proteins is 4 calories and 1 gram of fats is 9 calories. So fats are a lot more dense than carbs and proteins. So generally, if you're not on a ketogenic diet, the amount of fat you have compared to proteins and carbs will be smaller. Okay? So, I won't go further into explaining that, but hopefully that helps. This is a quick breakdown. Hopefully it was quick. A breakdown of what macronutrients are. As always, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll speak to you guys soon.